only the beginning.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to another episode of Quote the Raven. Thank you guys so much for joining. I have an amazing guest. They're another band that's going to be playing on Edge Festival this coming Saturday, the 25th, and it is the one and only The Less Fortunate. How are you guys?
Yeah, pretty well.
So we have on the phone, go ahead and introduce yourself, what you do in the band, and if you would for me, the other members and what they do.
Well, my name's Blanca, and I am a second vocalist. I do clean vocals in the band.
I'm Logan, the drummer. I'm here as well.
It's nice to have you both. So tell me a little bit about the other members' names and what they do.
I think Corey's on the line as well. He's our vocalist. Corey, are you there? Yeah, Corey. I'm Corey. I'm the heavy vocalist in the band.
Awesome. Well, thank you guys, all three of you, for joining. This is going to be a really fun interview. I've got 4 of your songs here, and in fact, the very first one I want to play is actually kind of a playthrough that I love. I love the song though, so it's one of those. The song title is Levels. Kind of explain to the audience kind of what is this song about, and what was the purpose for the playthrough.
Well, really with that song, mainly, it was more or less, the vocals especially, we kind of wrote that one based on how everybody kind of puts themselves in, like, a different placement in life. Like, even though we're all kind of living the same life, we're all on a different level as far as what we're doing and what we're involved with, what we're invested in, and what we're ambitious about. And so that's kind of where the idea of Levels came about. And so I was pretty excited to put that one down with everybody, and I think we all came together as a group collectively, and it was awesome.
Yeah, it's an amazing song. I truly love it. So I want to make sure this is the first one that we get in, because we do have 4 songs that I want all of you out there to hear of this band. This band is a really awesome band, and they have such a dynamic musically and vocally that I truly do love. It's kind of one of the styles that I really fall into and escape to whenever I need to hear something really good. So this song is Levels, and it's by the one and only The Less Fortunate.
Everyone I know is on a different fucking level. I'm trying to live this way for today.
Oh yeah. So there you have it. Amazing song. I love it. And I love the whole thought process of the playthrough. So, I mean, like, some bands are doing that now, which is really kind of cool, to have that ability to have that thought process. So what was the kind of the thought behind that, doing that? Were you like, yeah, let's do individual playthroughs on some of these songs, or kind of what was the thought on that?
I guess I'll take this one since I did the video. I'm the drummer over here. So, I don't know. We're really good connected with a band called Edge Over Edge, and Matthew Austin runs Still Point Visions, which is does music videos. He did a music video for another one of our songs too. So we want to do more video content to have on YouTube.
Mm-hmm.
So we just asked him if we could put together like an easy drum playthrough video that'd be a lot easier to do than like a full blown music video.
Right.
And so he was able to work on that. It took us just a couple hours to really do it, and it was really kind of simple and just got more video content out for us. And then I just kind of like the placing of it with like the train behind there and kind of the interstate that goes over top of that. I mean, to me, it kind of represents a couple different levels because I'm like on the ground level. And like the train tire, and then you got like the interstate over top of that. I don't know. I guess it's kind of like a metaphor type deal, but that's kind of the thought process behind it.
Well, I loved it. I loved the whole thought of it. So again, how many members were in the band?
We're like a 6-piece, but right now I think we're kind of down a guitar player, so we're kind of a 5-piece.
I gotcha. Yeah, because I couldn't quite tell if you guys were 6 or 5, or so. Tell me kind of where this started. Where did the name "The Less Fortunate" come from?
Who wants this one?
I'll take it. So, pretty much the name, we all gathered up in the band room trying to figure out what would be good for us, really. And basically what any band does, just kind of go through a whole list. And, the Less Fortunate really stuck out to us because, we all kind of think that everyone, like us all, are the less fortunate because basically we all live in this endless cycle. Like life in itself is a great thing, but this whole endless cycle of, get up, go to work every day, work your butt off, and, stuck with paying all your bills, and, you feel like you're in a rut, and, pretty much we're all less fortunate having to deal with all these different circumstances and diversities that life throws at us. And, basically everyone can relate to that. Everyone has their own issues, everyone has their problems that they got to deal with, but, we're all in it together, really. And, everyone's the less fortunate, and our name just comes, pretty much just lets everyone know that they're not alone, and no matter what life throws at you, we can pretty much overcome it.
I love that. I love that. So how long have you guys been a band, and is this the original members? Has there been member changes? Kind of go through that with me.
Corey, you want that one? Yeah, I can take this one. I would say we formed at the end of 2016 with Logan, who was the drummer, and one of a bass player. His name was Bill. He's no longer with us at the time. But after that, it kind of slowly started to piece together. We have Blanca as our clean vocalist, me as the heavy vocalist, Dalton Gold as one of our lead guitar players, Nolan Smith as our secondary guitar player, which is who we're currently got at the moment. He's in the process of moving, so we're sad about that.
Gotcha.
And we also have a new bassist named Dalton Savage, so we have 2 Daltons in the band.
Yeah. So so how do you break that up? Is one kind of like a nickname, or how do you do that?
I call one Gold and I call the other one Savage, so that's kind of how we break that up.
Last name basis.
Right?
Yeah.
So if I go up there and just yell Dalton, both of them are going to look at me, huh?
Yeah.
That's awesome. That's awesome. Okay, so yeah, continue. Sorry, I just had to kind of find that out.
So other than we've had a guitar player change, we've had a bass player change. Other than that, everybody that's in it right now is the original members in the group, and we try to stick together as
Yeah, it's very difficult to keep original members. It really, really is, especially when life happens, and a lot of times things get in the way. And just like you said, your other guitarist, is leaving. You guys are really sad about it. And it does happen, it does happen. It kind of happened with us too. Our original drummer had that same thing happened as well. So it was kind of one of those things, and we called him Animal, because he was just a beast on the drums, So it's really hard when you lose it's a family member. I mean, do you guys agree with that?
Yeah, definitely.
So let's get to this next song for sure. This is Inside the Mastermind. Now, this is your actual music video. So explain the meaning behind this and what goes on with that.
Logan, you want to take this?
Okay.
Logan, you want to take this one?
Well, I don't know. When do the vocalists do it? I'll take it. So, pretty much Inside the Mastermind, pretty much what I was thinking when coming up with some of the lyrics was basically how some people do have a battle amongst themselves, or, things that they need to overcome, with themselves. For a lot of people, it's, depression, it's addiction, or, things like that. Financial issues, just things that they battle with themselves, basically, over all the time, something that's always on their mind, kind of eating away at them. And basically, what I was thinking is just, this is the type of thing that, you can't overcome. It takes a lot of work, but at the end of it, you're the one who's the top dog in your mind. You can't let your mind control you, and you can't let your inner demons win, basically. And so that's just kind of my take on it, and what I was kind of given away with it, as far as my aspect on my part.
I love that. Well, let's definitely get into it. So here you go. This is a beautiful evening. We'll talk a little bit about who helped you create this music video as well when we come back. This is the Inside. I got to make sure I say this correctly. Inside the Mastermind. Here you go. All right, all right. Hell yeah. So, okay, so let's talk a little bit about the music video. Who did that for you guys, and what was the situation with that?
Yeah, that was, like I said earlier, with Matthew Austin and Still Point Visions. He's the one who helped us with that music video as well. And he's also tied in with Traumasphere Records and Wayne Allison. He kind of works with him as well, which Wayne manages us as well. So that's kind of how we got the connection there.
Gotcha. I love that. So tell me just a little bit. I got to talk with Blanca real quick. Being a female, we're seeing more of us out there in the hard rock metal world. What is it like for you, I guess, in the sense of kind of coming out and just showing people who you are?
I don't know. I guess I never really put a whole lot of thought into that, just because I just kind of I've always just kind of gone out there and just kind of had fun, just kind of did what I love doing on the stage, and basically just doing it with the guys here, and basically my family. I love all of them, and I basically just gone out and just done it. I haven't really thought about sort of that aspect, but you're right. There's not really too many female vocalists and such in the metal scene, but it's definitely cool, because some people appreciate that a little more, and I don't, just from the feedback I get from when I get off stage and everyone's giving the whole band and compliments and such. Some of them do kind of say that they love the fact that I'm in the band doing what I do, and I just think it's really cool to just get that recognition and such, and not just kind of have a whole point of view put on me. It's just because people just like me for my looks. They like me for what I put out and have to give out with the band, and basically my part in it.
Yeah.
So I think I really appreciate that, and I like that about it.
Yeah, absolutely. Have you ever had any weird backlash because you're female or anything like that?
I can only think of one time, I think, maybe, but that was when we first started. Other than that, I haven't really had anything like that, and if I had, I must not have picked up on it, been really oblivious, or just kind of let it roll off my shoulders.
Yeah. I think it's really difficult, because we're kind of in uncharted territory, I guess, in a way, because like we were talking about, there really isn't a whole lot of females that do this, and with my vocal stylings, I do cleans and roughs and gutturals and screams, and so a lot of, when I first. It took me 8 years. I'm not going to say who, but it took 8 years for the sound guy to even turn me up to the same level as other vocalists in other bands. He said, well, females aren't supposed to be in metal anyway. So I did have a lot of backlash. And I don't know if it was just because of the style of the vocals I was doing. I don't know. But it was, I had to go through that. And so that's why I wanted to ask you kind of that same question. It's great to see more females coming out. How do you boys feel about it?
I love it. I mean, I've always been really into this metalcore style of screaming and singing. So when this band came together, and we had Corey doing the screams and Blanca's doing the singing, I just thought it came together really well. And I really enjoy what we do. Yeah, absolutely. I mean, I feel great about it as well, positive about it. I think some of my favorite bands are female fronted. Ginger, they've been coming up really heavy lately, and I love the fact that she can do that better than many of the males can. So and like you said, I definitely think over the years it has been a sexist played thing, and now that the times are changing, I think it is more common to see female fronted groups, which is empowering for other women. So I think it's a good thing overall.
Absolutely, yeah, and that is another really cool aspect of it too. Is I think my favorite audience members, honestly, is little kids, especially little girls. I've had little girls come up to me and they're just like, "Oh my gosh, I want to do exactly what you're doing," And when I grow up, things like that, it is just exactly what you said. It's super empowering, makes me super humble to be doing what I'm doing and to be that kind of an influence to that generation that's up and coming. It's an incredible feeling.
Absolutely.
Yeah, definitely is.
Yeah, love it. So tell me a little bit, because you're talking about kind of the stylings. What are your guys' influences?
Like I said, I love metalcore, like mid 2000s, like Devil Wears Prada, Ethel Dying. I mean, County the Stat era is my favorite style of music. So that's my biggest influence. But I'll speak for Dalton Golden. I know he loves like new metal, like Korn. It's like his favorite band. So he's definitely like the late 90s new metal influence. And me and him, collaborate a lot. So I think that's a lot of where our faithcore music comes from. And then these two.
Have you guys ever got to meet in either one of these bands or any members?
What's that?
Have you ever got to meet like these influences, like from Korn? Anybody from Korn or anybody from Devil Wears Prada or anything like that?
I don't think any of us got to meet anybody. Well, we've definitely gone out to concerts together. Like I know we all saw Devil Wears Prada in Springfield maybe a year or two ago, and then we saw Korn at Rocklahoma in 2019. So we've gone out and got to see the bands. We haven't met anybody like in person, as far as real huge influences like that would go.
Yeah. I actually got to meet Hildy and the drummer, which was from Korn. It was. We got to have Korn because do you know they sell coffee?
Yeah.
Yeah. They gave us two packages of their coffee. They sell them for like $20 a piece at their shows. Yeah, so we got to have coffee with them. It was really cool. It was really cool, and it was badass. It was pretty cool. We got to take pictures with them and stuff like that. But they're really down to earth. It was at the here in Wichita at the Interest Bank Arena. If they were with Breaking Benjamin, who we got to meet all the band members from them too, which was really cool. The actual singer Ben, he is off the wall funny as hell. So if you ever get a chance to meet him, all he kept saying to me is, "How is it? What's the weather like down there? Is it hard? Is it?" I'm just like, because he's like 6'7". I don't know if you knew that. Yeah, he's super tall. He's super tall. I just kept looking at him like, you know what? I could climb you like a tree right now. But something you'll find out, a lot of these musicians and things like that, they're all just people. They're all just really, they're down to earth, a lot of them. I mean, I'm sure there's some out there that have their egos sticking out, but generally, yeah, they're really just down to earth and just like us,
Yeah, that's good to hear,
Yeah, it's awesome. So let's talk about this next song, which is called Alive. Now, this is the official lyric video for this, so tell the audience a little bit about this.
Yeah, I can take this one. This one really was more or less about battling depression and more or less facing your inner demons, and it's more or less overcoming a lot of that fear and pain that you kind of put on yourself that really is more self-driven than it is inflicted by others, and a lot of times I think that's harder for us to overcome the stress and more or less self-doubt we put on ourselves than it is to take it from other people in the outside world. And I think that's where kind of the lyrics behind that one came out, and why we kind of decided to do a lyric video. It was super fun to go that route. And we had a guy named Tyler Colvin do that one for us, and I think it turned out great.
Yeah, it definitely did. I love that. All right, you guys, well, here you go. Here is Alive by The Less Fortunate.
So
So good. Oh, I love that, especially at the end. Just the beautiful nature of your voice on that is it's fabulous. I love it. So tell me, guys. Let me just kind of make sure you're on here. Sometimes this thing just does not want to do it. Okay, so with that being said, you guys still hear me up there?
Yeah.
All right, cool. So with kind of the how do you guys write? Do you write together? Does somebody start? Who starts it? How does this kind of work for you guys, especially now?
I guess it starts with just like kind of just the instrumentals, so maybe probably just guitar and drums, a lot of, and then it kind of just builds off that, and then it kind of goes to vocals, I would say.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely.
So with you having two dynamics of vocals that you do you do the hardcores first, or does she do the melody, or has it been kind of both? How does that work for you guys?
I feel like that one's pretty even, actually. Like, I feel like she definitely does a lot of the chorus, for sure, just to carry us through on a lot of the songs, but she definitely has a lot of verses as well, so I feel like that kind of pushes a little more evenly across the board. And we have songs that are kind of more primarily her, and we have songs that are kind of primarily me, and I feel like that also kind of switches it up for people on both sides that like a little bit of everything,
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I love that. Well, I wanted to definitely talk a little bit about the festival. So this is going to be on the 25th. I'll put the flyer up here so everybody can see. This is actually over in Ottawa, Kansas. You guys excited to play?
Yeah. We're looking forward to it, yeah.
Yeah, it's going to be a lot of fun. We've got several bands playing. We've got you guys, Adventure Mouse. We've got the less fortunate, of course, you guys, and then Orient Falls, us, and Mudflex. We also have a couple additions to this. I don't know if you heard today as well. Yeah, we've actually got one which is what was the name of that band? I just interviewed them. I got too many people that I know. It's Chauncey's band, which I can't remember what band it is. Jeez, that's terrible, isn't it? I have so many bands that I interview, I can't remember who's who. But they are, as soon as I find it, I'm going to be like, oh, Sinful. That's it. Sinful's going to be playing, and then we also have Purdue, which is out of California, Vegas area. They're going to be coming in and playing as well. So, yeah, so it's going to be a pretty big show. So it's going to be a lot of fun.
Yeah, I know I've seen pictures of the stage, what the stage is supposed to look like and whatnot. So it looks like we're in plenty of room, big stage, and a big area for the crowd. So it's going to be a lot of fun for us.
Yeah, and it's being done by Stage Pro, Audio Pro. So which is awesome. That means that, because just as well as I do as a band, that's your number one thing. How good's the sound going to be? Because you'll still do what you got to do, but man, you have a great performance and the sound is shot. It just sucks walking away from that.
Yeah.
Have you guys had to deal with that a lot?
I feel sometimes we run into a lot of good sound, and then sometimes not.
Yeah.
Well, we're just so this show happy that we'll just jump on a lot of things, and where we sound. So sometimes we go places where you pretty much have two monitors up front, and that's like your sound.
Yeah.
And then so it's nice when you do get on a big stage, especially when we are a full 6-piece band and you got a full sound system where everybody's got monitors, and it's like this totally changes your world as a musician.
Mm-hmm.
So how comfortable you are while you're playing.
Oh yeah, and you have the room to do things, and the room to actually, especially with 6 pieces, because we have 5, so I get it. It's hard.
Yeah.
It's hard. It's kind of like trying to put Slipknot in a tiny box. It just doesn't work out very well.
Absolutely.
That's awesome. So let's talk also about some of these songs. Do you guys have an album out right now, or is it just singles? And where would somebody want to go to purchase your music?
So we do have an album out. We we self-titled it. It is The Less Fortunate. And pretty much like we're on all platforms. So if you want to get the album on Spotify, you can. Get it on Google Play. Let's see. For a little while, it's on
iTunes, or it's on Apple Music. Yeah, it's pretty much on most of the I know there's a few of them that's not, but pretty much most of the major ones. And then it's on YouTube. All of our stuff's up on YouTube as well.
Okay,
We
awesome.
have them in a few stores in Springfield and Joplin. We have been in stock in Joplin, right?
Yeah.
Springfield, Sticking to Your Ear, which is also in Springfield, and they're a super awesome place that they kind of sponsor a lot of local music, which is really cool for us to get our album out there.
Yeah. So do you have the hard copies then?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Okay, awesome. And do you have like T-shirts or things like that for people if they want to purchase merchandise?
Yeah, we'll have shirts and koozies, stickers. We have hats for sale. We have quite a bit of merch that we're going to be setting out for everybody to check out.
Ah, gotcha. So if somebody wanted to go online and purchase that merchandise, is that possible?
Yes, you can find all our stuff at bigcartel.com. You can just go on there, search The Less Fortunate Band, and you can find our stuff on there.
All right, sounds good. Sounds good. We'll make sure to link a couple of these links in the comment section, so that way you guys, if you want to go purchase their music or if you want to go purchase some of their merchandise, you'll know where to go. So tell me, guys, with everything you've done, I know you're still kind of a newer band, but is there like any kind of crazy like this one-time experience that you guys have already had, maybe possibly?
Yeah, I think so. I think playing Rocklahoma last year, even though we played in the smaller stages, it was still a really great experience to have. There was a lot of people there, and it was really cool just making memories with friends, playing in front of a lot of people we knew, a lot of people we didn't know, kind of getting that exposure out there. We were trying to build up for our album at the time.
Yeah.
And so that was one of the really cool experiences I felt like we had as a band just recently even.
What stage did you guys play on? What day did you play?
Saturday.
Yep, because we were there Thursday. We played Thursday.
That's awesome.
Yeah, so yeah, I bet we ran into each other and didn't even know it.
probably.
But you can't quite miss me. I'm a big, bright, red-haired girl going around places.
I think I saw you around, yeah.
Probably, yeah. You can't really miss the hair. That's awesome. And it's so much fun. And, the Dark Side stage, much love goes out to you guys out there, to Chris and everybody who's involved with that stage. I just love them people. And, it's so much fun to do festivals. And if you guys have never, you as the audience have never gone to a festival, you gotta go. And you gotta go all 4 days. You set yourself up on that Thursday early and then get ready. Get ready to just party and pass out and get back up and do it all over again. But don't do what my bassist. Don't do what my bassist does. He finds random food on the ground and eats it. Don't do that. That's not no.
Yeah, COVID.
He was hungry apparently. I don't know. You could hear Raven like screaming across the, and I'm going, Stabby, don't. Oh shit.
What do you got? Put that down.
Right? Yeah, I have to follow him around. Just like, cut it out. Stop. I will tell you a quick story about it. This was the first year that we did Rocklahoma, and this was in 2017. And, oh my goodness. Okay, my bassist is crazy. He's funny as hell, and I love him to death. But he decides he wants to waterboard himself. For real. So he does it. He's like, I want this experience, right? Now, granted, he's also black, too. So he goes and waterboards himself. And he's like, oh my God, after he gets done, oh my God, that was terrible. I know what my ancestors went through. Don't ever do that again. He stops, pauses, says, let's do it again. And I was just like, oh my God, he totally did it again. But that's his sense of humor, you know what I mean? So, yeah, we have to babysit him. We have to make sure he's not going to die.
Yeah. There's always one.
There is. Well, there's several in ours. You know, like I always say, Sean, who's our keyboardist, he's the one that does the clean vocals for me on a lot of my stuff. I do the clean raspy, but he does just like the clean. We call him the girl of the group, and he knows it. He knows it. He'll be more bedazzled up than I will, for real.
At least he knows it.
He does. It's awesome. All right, well, let's talk a little bit about this last song here. This is Oculus. Tell the audience a little bit about this.
So Oculus basically was based on pretty much the point of view that you have of, you know, someone who's just pretty much just pretty fake, and pretty much just a song about how you see through pretty much everyone's facade that they put on. Pretty much how society has this whole thing set up of, you know, you gotta be a certain way to be happy, or you gotta do certain things or whatever. But basically, you know that you stick with how you want to be and stay true to yourself, and you know you're not gonna just conform to, you know, all this fake BS that you see every day in some people, you know. And basically, that's just what that song is about. Is just, you know, staying true to yourself and knowing what's right, and, you know, pretty much just doing what you want to do, that you know what's best, and, you know, basically just being true to yourself, basically.
Oh, I love that. Well, here you go, guys. Here is Oculus by the one and only, the Less Fortunate. Oh yeah, love it. Okay, so tell me, just a little bit about like where can these people go and find you? Is Facebook the best way to find you, or?
Facebook's probably what we keep up with the most of that, and our Instagram. You know, right? Instagram. Yeah, Instagram, and Facebook are probably our best two outlets. Like I said, we have our whole album, and then Oculus, which was our first single, up on YouTube. So that's a good place to go as well. And then, like I said, all our music's on all the major platforms. I know our album's on Spotify. That's where I use it. So I guess I would direct anybody towards Spotify because I think that's like an easy app to use to check out our music as well. You guys have any other ones? We're also on Splittrick's website. We're currently under their album as well through there. So if you wanted to go through there and get it, you could.
Okay.
It's super easy to access. $10 from there. So.
Awesome. Well, make sure you guys go to their Facebook page, like and follow. It takes both of those, and the same with YouTube. Go and subscribe, and make sure you hit that little bell button to get all notifications for anything that's coming up. With that being said, what do you guys have planned for the rest of this year? Are you kind of waiting till 2021? Kind of what's your guys' thought process on where you're at now with everything that's happened?
It looks like we're just kind of booking some bigger kind of festivals that are still planned for later in the year. I know we're in Metal Stock in Melbourne, Kansas. I believe also Ryan Falls will be on that as well. Then we got Bash in the Grass near Springfield, Missouri. And I feel like there's one more that I think, the Legacy of Rock in September. And Pittsburgh, all the money goes to help keep towards the local school programs. They do that every year, and that's always a great event. So
that's awesome.
Looks like that's all we really got going so far, just because with the whole COVID thing. Mm-hmm. We just do still have a few really big kind of festivals set up that we're excited about.
Yeah,
so, we'll be posting that up on Facebook. So people can keep track of that.
Yeah, it's been crazy. How have you guys, I guess, dealt with everything that's kind of gone on?
Really just kind of day by day, just trying to be safe, and I know it's really kind of stricken everybody really hard, not just the music industry, but, families all across the world, so really we're just trying to stay safe and quarantine for the most part, everything work, and whenever we can try to get out, we just try to stay safe, and we just try to taking it day by day, engaging with the rest of the world, really.
Yeah, it's been definitely an interesting time to be alive. That's for sure.
Absolutely, that's crazy.
It is. It's something that just like any kind of like memorabilia from this year, I just want to keep, just so when I'm old and gray, I can tell my great grandchildren, I lived through the pandemic of 2020. Right. Well, let's talk a little bit more real quick about the festival. This is Edgefest. This is going on the 25th of this month. This will be coming up Saturday. It's going to be an all-day event. I believe the doors open at 4 p.m. We've got so many different bands playing, including the amazing Less Fortunate. I'm really excited about playing the show with you guys. It's going to be so much fun.
Absolutely. We're looking forward to it as well. We can't wait to play.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, it's been a while since we've been on stage, so yeah, we're ready for it. We're looking forward to it.
I love it. Well, you guys out there watching, make sure you give these guys lots of hearts. I want to see some hearts here right now. So you definitely come to the show, so that way you can get their CDs, their merchandise. They've got all kinds of amazing merch. So maybe that way you guys can actually pick up a hard copy and maybe get it signed, possibly.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, I definitely appreciate you guys joining me on this interview. Before we go, I did want to ask one thing. I always ask my bands about this question on the interviews. If you were to give any advice to anybody as a solo artist or just a musician or a singer that wants to start a new band, what would be your advice to them?
Go ahead, Malcolm.
I would say, as far as my advice would go, is don't beat yourself up so much, and like you can care what other people think about your music and everything to an extent, but all in all, you're doing what you love and you're getting it out, the best way you can convey it, and pretty much just stay true to your dreams.
I love that. I love that. You boys got anything to say about that?
Yeah, my thing is just really just stay passionate and stay driven and stay true to yourself. And like she said, don't let anybody get in the way of what drives you to make music. Because in the end, you only live once, and you want to have something that you can look back on that you say, hey, I did that, and it was fun, and I made memories with people I love, and I had a good time doing it. So. That's what I would say to anyone. Yeah, I'd have to agree. I'd say just do it because you love to do it, because that's why I do it.
Yeah, absolutely.
That's my advice.
I love it, guys. Well, thank you so much again for joining me on another episode of Quote the Raven, and I look forward to this Saturday. So I will talk to you guys very soon. Thank you guys so much again.
Yeah, thank you.
Thank you for having us.
All right, take care now.
Bye.
Well, there you have it, you guys. Such an amazing and talented band. I'm so looking forward to seeing their performance this Saturday. So if you're anywhere in the Kansas, Arkansas, even Oklahoma, we've got people coming from Oklahoma to this festival. It's not like there's a whole lot of festivals out there. Make sure that you do bring a mask. It is mandatory just because of everything's kind of gone down, but this is our way of still being able to have a festival. So thank you guys so much for joining another episode of Quote the Raven. I love you all, and you all have an amazing rest of your day. Bye-bye.
My final journey into myself. The beginning is the end. The end is only